For the next 7 days, I'm going to be following the carnivore diet. No veggies, no grains, just slabs of sizzling flesh. But I won't just be consuming beef and chicken. I'll be eating the most exotic meats I can get my hands on. I'll be tracking everything to find out if eating like a caveman is the fountain of youth or a one-way ticket to an early grave. Let's get into it. I started off by recording my body composition, my weight, and my fasting glucose. I then went on to continue my regular morning routine with one minor interruption.
Well, first day of the carnivore diet, and I can't start my day with coffee. So instead, a cup of bone broth. Not quite the same as coffee, but I think I get used to it.
Before I get into breakfast, let's talk about the rules for the carnivore diet, because it's a lot more complicated than it might seem. Like many things these days, the carnivore diet is a spectrum. Some people believe that you should only eat beef and water, while others believe that any animal product, including dairy and even honey, is part of the carnivore diet. For the next week, I'm going to be eating somewhere in the middle. The majority of my diet will consist of meat, but I will also eat eggs, fish, and maybe even a small amount of dairy to mix things up. I will also be using different herbs and spices and seasonings to flavor my meat. If you're a carnivore, let me know what things you allow and what things are completely off limits. With that all cleared up, it's time for my first meal.
Starting off with some eggs for breakfast. Nearly $1 an egg at the moment.
After breakfast, I went to work, and the first thing I did was say hello to my fellow carnivore coworker, Mr. Noodle Linguini Jr. We had a good morning together, and to my surprise, my first carnivore breakfast had me feeling satiated all the way to lunch.
First day of carnivore lunch. We got 2 cans of sardines. Sardines and water. Not the best lunch, but it'll do. Also gonna check my blood sugar again, because I really hope I'm not pre-diabetic still. So I've only eaten the bone broth and the 2 eggs today. Had a big carby meal last night. Kind of surprises you. All right, let's see. 5.7. Don't know what that means exactly.
It means I'm pre-diabetic. Now, there are a few things to take into account. I had eaten a pretty high carb meal the night before, and that reading was only taken after 6 hours of fasting. 6.1 is just borderline pre-diabetic, but still not that great. I'm super interested to see how my blood sugar changes when I go an entire week without eating a single carbohydrate. Now, you might hear 0 carb and think, oh, he's just doing keto. But here's where the carnivore diet differs from a ketogenic style diet. On a classic keto diet, the aim is to have the majority of your calories coming from fat. That way your body uses mainly ketones as fuel. Keto connoisseurs even go as far as to limit their protein to avoid a process known as gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is like the body pulling a biochemical rabbit out of a hat. It converts protein into glucose, keeping the brain and blood sugar levels stable, even without any plant-based foods. This happens because certain parts of your body, like red blood cells, kidney, and retina, require glucose to function properly. It's like a metabolic backup generator. Now, regardless of your diet, your body can still generate these carbohydrates because there's 3 main substrates they can use: amino acids from protein, lactate from muscle activity, and glycerol from fat. But the main difference between keto and carnivore is on carnivore, you're encouraged to go hog wild on the protein. And if you're eating enough, your body might not enter into ketosis at all. Those sardines held me over through the second half of the day, but I left work excited for my first meal.
I've only had like 500 calories today. I'm feeling a little hungry. All right, home from work and I'm hungry. So we're gonna cook up something powerful. I've got with me today a camel steak. So this is camel rump steak. Interesting. I've never tried camel before, never cooked camel. I'm gonna fry it up like a regular steak and see how we go. Should be a decent meal though. Basically 1 pound steak of camel. Let's do it.
All right, this half I'm keeping just salt. This one I seasoned up a little bit, some cumin, black pepper.
Smells interesting, not like beef. Here we are, I let it rest a little bit. It's actually looking and smelling pretty good. And I looked up the nutrition information on camel steaks. This 1 pound of camel, 100 grams of protein, 25 grams of fat.
Wow. Okay, that's really good actually. It's not far off with just a regular beef steak. Tastes a little bit more, I would say, like lamb. The only issue, it's extremely tough. I may have overcooked it. Australia has over 1 million feral camels. Brought in for transport in the 1800s, they were used to cross a massive desert from the north all the way to the south, and then they were left to wander. Now they're an invasive force in the outback. Wild, stubborn, just like their meat. Camel meat doesn't melt in your mouth. It makes you work for it. Every bite is a negotiation. But there's something honest about that. It's not pretty, it's not easy, it's tough. Like the desert landscape they come from. I've been chewing this steak for 45 minutes. My jaw muscles are crazy sore. Taste was good. Apparently that camel meat sat with me pretty well because my post-meal blood sugar reading was pretty normal. All fueled up with camel steak, heading off fishing, try and catch some more food. It turned out to be a beautiful night of fishing and was fairly productive too because I came home with a couple of fresh herring. Beautiful little herring. Pretty late right now though, so I'm gonna head to bed. These are gonna be breakfast. On day 1, I ate 151 grams of protein, 67 grams of fat, 0 grams of carbs for a total of 1,200 calories. I ate chicken, sardines, and camel, and I caught 4 fish. Day 2 started with my fasting blood sugar looking a lot better, and another cup of bone broth.
Well, it's Saturday today. Had a nice little sleep in. I'm gonna start the day off with a morning run. See how the carnivore energy levels are, and then we're going camping today. 12 kilometers done. A bit slower than usual. Didn't feel like I had that extra gear, but I only ate 1,200 calories today. So let's go get some food. Decent effort, all things considered. That camel steak fueled me well. Pulled a couple fillets off of one, gonna cook this one whole. There's something primal about catching your own fish. This herring, fresh from the sea, packed with omega-3s, the kind of food that makes your brain hum. Salt it, grill it, eat it with your hands, oily, salty, delicate, like the ocean whispered you a secret that you could bite into.
Delicious and crunchy. Still a little bit of sand left in it.
That herring didn't last me long because before I knew it, it was lunchtime. Back for lunchtime, and today we're gonna be cooking alpaca steaks. These are 400 grams alpaca loin chops. I've never had alpaca before. I've never cooked alpaca before. So you might be asking, well, how do we cook alpaca? I'm gonna try reverse searing it. So I got the cast iron. I'm gonna chuck them in here with a little bit of ghee butter, throw it in the oven for about 20-25 minutes, and then heat this thing up red hot and get a nice crust on the outside. All right, got these up to 150 internal temp. Probably left them in a little too long, but now we're just getting the pan ripping hot. Gonna sear the outside and enjoy. Alpaca steak, let's give it a go. I think I may have slightly overcooked it. Let's hope it's not as tough as the camel because my jaw is still sore from yesterday. Not as tough as the camel, a lot fattier too, which is really nice. This is a loin chop, not a steak, so I actually really like it. It's pretty similar to beef, slightly gamier. I'll definitely eat this again. What do you think?
Different days.
Yeah. This has 92 grams of protein and 22 grams of fat. Alpaca. Lean, clean, and surprisingly elegant. It's like a beef went on a yoga retreat and came back with better posture. No grease, a little gristle. It's very delicate. Almost a polite kind of meat. You grill it fast, eat it slow, and it feels like you're eating livestock with a liberal arts degree. Like you need to put on a sweater, sip an espresso, and recite some poetry. The alpaca was delicious. A few super gristly parts that were just impossible to get through, obviously the bones. Overall, better than the camel. I liked it. A lot sweeter. That's after eating an alpaca steak. About 45 minutes. All right, we're just about to head off camping. We've got a bit of a drive ahead of us, and you can't have a road trip without road trip snacks. So we're gonna see what we can find. Picked up a couple different flavors of pork crackles,
some fried pork rinds, and salami steaks. Probably not the best stuff, but it'll hold me over till I get a real meal cooked. Made it to camp. Plenty of light to spare. Oh, this is a cool feather.
We set up camp and explored the area for a bit, but then it was time to grill up dinner.
Dinner time. Cooking up some lamb, mint, and rosemary sausage. Ended up eating 2 sausages. It turned out they're really fatty, so it's kind of hard to eat a lot of them. But I'll save these last 3 for breakfast. We're gonna head to bed.
On day 2, I ate 233 grams of protein, 128 grams of fat, 15 grams of carbs for a total of 2,178 calories. I ate chicken, herring, alpaca, beef, and lamb, and I lost 2 pounds.
Good morning. Had a pretty great sleep in today, but the sleep was not that great. Unfortunately, last night had to make a few trips to the bathroom. That's just part of getting used to the carnivore diet. 0 fiber, 0 carbs, high fat. But I'm feeling good today. We're gonna pack up camp, head down to the lake, and see if we can't get some fish.
Breakfast sausage. Well, unfortunately, no luck. The plan was to get out on the paddleboard and go out to the deeper water, but it was super windy, so couldn't make it out there. And there's like 0 structure in that lake, so pretty tough to catch something from the shore. We're gonna head back home now. I got a delicious plan for dinner tonight, so gotta get started on that early.
Made it back home. Now it's time to start preparing dinner. For dinner today, we're gonna be eating this. A giant emu fillet. Never had emu before. It's like the Australian ostrich. I'm gonna slow cook it. With a little bit of bone broth in the bottom, different spices I got, and hopefully it's a good dinner. Let's give it a shot.
Got a handful of onions here. Obviously onions aren't carnivore, but I'm not gonna eat them. Just in there to add a little bit of flavor. Stew up with the emu. Also gonna put in 2 celery stalks, just for a little bit extra flavor. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, and some garlic salt to finish it off. I've decided I wanna make a snack today. My snack is gonna be Jello, carnivore Jello. We've got gelatin powder. You might be thinking, is gelatin carnivore? Yes, gelatin is made strictly from beef. Well, this brand is. So I'm gonna do a couple tablespoons of this, and to flavor it, I've got these electrolytes. They're lemon flavored, and all they are citric acid and stevia. So, and the salts, obviously. Let me know if you're a super strict carnivore guy, and that would break your carnivore. Personally, I'm gonna allow it. Gotta try a little bit different flavors. Just boiling up the Jello. This smells incredible. It smells like ramen at the moment. Haven't eaten a carb in like 3 days now. Been about 3 hours since I had the last thing to eat. Well, I'm not gonna lie, feeling a little bit low energy today, so I gotta eat more. Just went for a little walk down to my butcher shop. Picked up these delicious grass-fed sirloins. Got some more eggs too. Gonna cook these up using the reverse sear method again for lunch. All right, lunch is ready. Look how good this looks. Incredible. Not quite as good as ladies' lunch, but I'm still really gonna enjoy this.
This is one of those meals that makes this diet seem like a dream. Classic sirloin, cooked to perfection, salted and smothered in grass-fed garlic butter. This is the type of meal that makes you forget about carbs altogether. It makes you feel like you aren't missing out on anything on this ultra-restrictive diet.
Nothing against camel and alpaca, but can't beat beef.
I quickly check in on my bird before having a quick nap in the sun, but that didn't last long because I needed to start thinking ahead to my next meal.
Well, trying to make the most of this weekend. Let's go fishing again. Picked up some fresh bait, some muleys and some squid. We're ready to go. Absolutely beautiful conditions today. I am pumped. Just super calm water. It's like glass out there. Got 2 hours of sunlight left. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Have to watch out for those guys. Got one. Nice little whiting. These guys are delicious. Great little flathead. This guy's legal size, 32 centimeters, so he's gonna be dinner. Another herring, not bad. Nice little brim, but this guy's too small. He's going back. Is that the world's best sunset? Another little brim, he's going back. Another big fat flathead. Another herring, little baby Taylor, only 25 centimeters, so he's going back. Wow, well, that was an absolutely incredible night of fishing. Just non-stop. I lost count of how many fish I caught. I'll count them up, the ones I kept when I got home, but I probably released 7 or 8 brim, a few other ones, so well above 20 fish tonight. I was just planning on staying like an hour or two right until sunset and then going home, but the fish was just incredible. I mean, the amount of times I've come out here and not caught a single fish or catch one tiny little herring and that's it, and you get a day like today, that was incredible. It's not often that I return with a cooler heavier than when I left. Well, take a look at this whole pile of fish. Unfortunately, I was gone a little bit too long and my emu steak went dry.
It's actually got a good flavor. It's just emu jerky now. Despite my emu being drier than a Thanksgiving turkey, I was so high on all my fish, it didn't even bother me. And also, I learned my lesson. I was never gonna let my meat overcook in the slow cooker ever again. A mistake isn't really a mistake if you learn from it.
All right, all done. That was a ton of work. Got the flathead fillets and the whiting up here. And this bag is all herring fillets. Here I got all the frames and wings. I'm gonna use these for bait another time, maybe for some shark fishing. But I'm not gonna cook this up tonight. Got my emu jerky to munch on. And it's getting late, I'm exhausted. Carnivore, day number 3, big success. Almost forgot about this. Carnivore Jello. Salty and lemony. Let me know in the comments if you think electrolytes are cheating on the carnivore diet. Well, I actually just finished up the emu jerky. Didn't know if I was gonna get through it, and it actually really tastes like roast beef. I mean, the outer parts are quite dry. The inner part's pretty moist still. Emu, who'd have thought made such good jerky? Click the link in bio for crock pot jerky recipe. On day 3, I ate 252 grams of protein, 111 grams of fat, 12 grams of carbs for a total of 2,090 calories. I ate lamb, pig, emu, and cow, and I caught 29 fish. Carnivore day number 4 is underway. Today is the last day of my Spud Shed Strava challenge. Whoever gets the most kilometers clocked in the month of March wins a Spud Shed gift card. So I'm up for another run. If you don't know what Spud Shed is, then check out my full video where I spent 24 hours there and ran an ultra marathon. Well, 25 minutes for a 5K, not too bad. I guess the carnivore diet does have a little bit of power in it. I gotta get to work now. All right, going round 2 on the crock pot today. Hopefully it turns out a little bit better. Got a giant beef blade roast in here. Gonna add some seasonings and stuff. It's gonna be good. Got a whole heap of bone broth in the bottom already. Breakfast was eggs again, but I decided to add in some cheese to help increase the calories. I've barely been cracking 2,000 calories a day on this diet, which is quite a bit lower than normal for me. I had a good morning at work, but was feeling a bit low energy, and when I checked my blood sugar pre-lunch, I had my lowest reading yet. This is right before lunch, and I can say that I definitely feel it. Well, just wanted to see if I could knock out a few extra kilometers to finish off this challenge. There's no leaderboard, so I don't know where I'm standing, so gotta push it right to the end. And for lunch, got another pack of sardines, some pork crackle. We got all that delicious fresh fish sitting at home, and I'm eating sardines. Sardines and vitamin D. Dessert. Nice little 3-kilometer walk. Time to get back to work.
The sardines and pork crackle must have kicked my gluconeogenesis back into gear because it held me over until the end of the day.
Well, another Monday conquered. I definitely should have brought some more lunch today though. Time to get home and get some food. Oh, smells incredible in here. That roast.
See, I told you, lesson learned, and I definitely would never overcook anything in the slow cooker again.
That looks amazing. Not letting this one go dry. So I got jiu-jitsu class in about an hour. I'm gonna have a little pre-workout snack. These 2 perfect flathead fillets. Cook it in some grass-fed herb and garlic butter. Nothing better than eating food that you caught yourself.
I took off to jiu-jitsu class and had some great sparring. The carnivore diet might not give you the most explosive energy, but eating only meat definitely helps you connect with your inner predator. It gives you an edge in aggressiveness.
Finally made it home. Time to eat. Have a look at this meal. So here we got 350 grams of roast beef. It's been stewing all day. And this is homemade tzatziki. So it's made from just this natural Greek yogurt. And then all I did was add a few herbs and spices, mint, dill, garlic, salt and pepper. And that's what I'm going to be enjoying for dinner. This looks incredible. Bit of a texture change too. Excited about that. And some more flavor. Let me know if you think Greek yogurt belongs in a carnivore diet. Oh, that's so good. Look at this giant piece of fat too.
Although dairy isn't part of a strict carnivore diet, this small bit of yogurt and a little bit of cheese this morning really made a huge difference for me. The flavor and texture change was super valuable. And the biggest thing was I was able to eat a lot more. This is something that worked well for me, but if my goal was to lose weight on this diet, I'd probably exclude dairy altogether. On day 4, I ate 227 grams of protein, 109 grams of fat, 30 grams of carbs for a total of 2,032 calories. I ate chicken, sardines, flathead, pig, and cow.
Let's get day number 5 started. Workout in a sauna.
Got a pretty good sweat going already. Now it's time to turn it up. Oof. Post-workout sauna hits a little bit harder. Starting to miss this. For lunch I got the same as last night, except I added chicken. So I got roast beef, chicken, tzatziki. It's gonna be great. Pumped for that.
I was feeling super energized this morning, and I tried to keep it going by snacking on some pork crackle and then eating a nice big lunch. I gave my carnivore buddy some attention this afternoon and then raced home to prepare a super special carnivore meal.
All right, all finished work, and it's another beautiful day to be a carnivore. Today, we're gonna be eating crocodile meat. Crocodile tail meat. Looks like I got 2 fillets here. So I'm gonna take one and I'm gonna marinate it with a bit of soy sauce, lemon juice, some seasonings. The other one I'm gonna leave plain. I'm gonna cook those up tonight after jiu-jitsu class. All right, got some pieces marinating here. Fresh slab right here. You always gotta be careful eating a fellow carnivore, but I got hope this one's gonna taste good. Jiu-jitsu time, let's do it.
Training was good tonight, but really all I was thinking about was my reptilian dinner.
Well, great jiu-jitsu session. Time to get some crocodile in me. Post-training, pre-dinner. Marinade is looking good. Time to get this cooking. So I've had crocodile twice before. The first time tasted like chicken, and it's a little bit chewier, not too bad. Actually tastes fine. The second time I had it, it tasted like rotting fish mixed with rotting chicken. It was absolutely disgusting. So hopefully this is more option 1. We got our marinated pieces and our unmarinated. Kind of hard to tell when crocodile's done. I'm definitely going for the well done over medium rare on this one. Let's get into it. Crocodile. Try the plain one first. Honestly, just tastes like chewy chicken. But it's not as dry as chicken. So that's really nice. But the texture of chicken is a lot better.
Let's try the marinade now. Oh yeah, marinade's a lot nicer. Get the saltiness from the soya, a little tanginess from the lemon juice. It's been so long since I had fruit, I can't even remember the name of them. A carnivore. Sitting here, eating another carnivore. It's like the universe's idea of a joke. Oh, you like meat? How about this? A prehistoric predator that's been around longer than your ancestors, now on your plate. You don't have to be vegan to feel bad for animals. Even though I love steak, I wish I didn't have to slaughter cows to get it. But I understand it's a necessary part of life. But there's a different feeling eating something that could easily eat you. It's like, yeah, I won this round, but it easily could be me between his jaws next time. So far on the diet, I'm feeling pretty good. I would say my body's a little more adapted to it now than it was on day 1 or 2. My energy levels are just consistent all day. Whereas when I'm eating a lot of carbs, you have like the big spikes, but then you also have some lulls during the day. Whereas now I don't have necessarily the extra gear when I'm training or working out, but I also don't have those lulls or low points during the day. So the only issue I've ran into so far is just trying to get enough calories in. So that's why I've added in the dairy with a little bit of cheese and Greek yogurt. But overall, diet's going pretty well. Would like a piece of fruit though, that would be nice. I'm actually gonna have 2 servings of Greek yogurt just to finish off the night, get a few extra calories in. On day 5, I ate 271 grams of protein, 99 grams of fat, and 34 grams of carbs for a total of 2,085 calories. I ate chicken, cow, crocodile, and pig, and I lost 2.6 pounds. Day 6 started out with a workout and the taste of crocodile on my breath. Had a decent workout. Don't think the crocodile meat was necessarily the best fuel this morning. Probably a little dehydrated too. Started doing some deadlifts and my hamstring started cramping. Haven't had that happen in a long time. So definitely gotta work on getting the water in, getting the salts in today. Gotta try and get more food in today because I'm still dropping weight. The lowest I've been in 3 years now. All right, I gotta head off to work this morning, but first I'm gonna prepare tonight's dinner. Buffalo steak. This is a 400-gram buffalo rump steak. Now, you might be thinking, buffalo, that's not that weird, right? It's just a bison. No, this is a water buffalo. They're actually found in Australia. Now, I know from doing a little bit of research that this is gonna be absolutely insanely tough, probably worse than the camel. So for that reason, I'm gonna slow cook it. First, I'm gonna pan sear it on a scorching hot cast iron pan for about a minute each side, and then hopefully build up a nice little crust, and then throw it in the slow cooker all day. When I get home, it should be delicious, tender buffalo steak. Let's give it a shot. The best thing about this was that I had now mastered the slow cooker, and this buffalo steak was gonna turn out incredible. There's no way I was gonna make the same mistake twice. I quickly smashed 4 eggs for breakfast and then prepared my lunch. Today at work was one of my co-workers' birthdays, and instead of bringing in a birthday cake, he brought us fresh rock lobster that he had caught the night before. Luckily, I could indulge and wasn't tempted by birthday cake. I had some pork crackle with my chicken lunch.
Pre-lunch, post-lunch.
And then got to feed Mr. Noodle Linguini Jr. his lunch in the afternoon. Imagine having to eat a chunk of meat twice the size of your head in one bite every week. I cruised home after work with the thought of fresh, tender buffalo steak cooked to perfection on my mind. Well, I did it again. I thought I put enough liquid in here this time, but made straight up jerky with this thing again. I was actually excited to try that. Hopefully the jerky's still good. Well, here we are. Definitely a little well done, but it's actually not that bad inside. It's still pretty juicy. Not as far gone as the emu was. I've never cooked such little food in a crock pot before, so wasn't aware that would happen. Let's give it a shot, see how it tastes. Really tender. Okay, a little dry. It's very salty because obviously all of the bone broth got concentrated and is now sitting in this piece of meat or stuck to the bottom of the crock pot. Very similar to beef, but more of a neutral flavor. Very good despite being well done. Buffalo, not bad. Water buffalo were brought to Australia in the 1800s to help with farm work. And just like every other domesticated animal that's ever set foot in the country, it went feral and has completely run amok on the landscape. These animals ravage the local ecosystem, and they're actually quite dangerous if you come across them. However, the good thing about an introduced species going feral in Australia is that the government will actually let you hunt them. So they make for a very sustainable source of meat and something that you can harvest from the wild with your own hands, or with a high-powered rifle from a long range.
It all fueled up, time to train. Hopefully that burnt buffalo sits well. Made it back from a pretty good class. Feeling a little sluggish during class today though. Didn't quite have the normal boost. That buffalo meat didn't do it for me. But luckily I get to eat this delicious fish for dinner. Caught like 3 days ago now, so still super fresh. Got these 2 nice flathead fillets and then 2 decent sized whiting. Decent diet, like I feel good. I wouldn't say like I feel incredible. I'm sure there's a bit of an adjustment period. This is also not the first time I've tried this diet. When I've done it before, I've had similar results. That was just pretty much eating beef and chicken, and that was it. This time, eating all this exotic food definitely keeps it a little more interesting. I've really been blessed with some delicious meals and some great, unique meat, and this fish is no exception. I'm super excited to eat this. So, for my final meal tomorrow, which will be the final meal of this carnivore diet, I got something really special. This 30-day dry-aged Black Angus T-bone. It's massive, like, look how thick this thing is. I'm gonna salt it up, and then I'm gonna put it on like a drying rack and leave it in the fridge for 24 hours. Day number 7 tomorrow, big day. And I got kangaroo for lunch.
On day 6, I ate 255 grams of protein, 124 grams of fat, and 13 grams of carbs for a total of 2,195 calories. I ate chicken, cow, buffalo, rock lobster, and pig, and I lost 1 pound.
Day 7, and I'm in ketosis. Probably should have checked this earlier.
Final day, let's get a workout in. Five eggs coming up. Oh yeah. So for lunch today, I got these kangaroo meat sticks. They're actually called drowers, which is like basically a South African pepperoni. And the ones I got are brisket mixed with, so beef mixed with kangaroo. And they're really good. I've had these for ages and just haven't eaten this one pack. So hopefully they're still good. But I've eaten kangaroo lots before. It's delicious. To me, it tastes exactly like deer or venison. Very similar. These are usually a hiking and camping snack, but today it's lunch.
My morning flew by and my kangaroo lunch had me hopping all the way home.
Well, pretty uneventful day at work, but all done now. And all day I was thinking about that massive T-bone I'm gonna have tonight. I've just got jiu-jitsu class in a bit, so I'm gonna have this little pack of salami sticks here. And after that, it's time to feast. This is gonna be an awesome way to finish off the carnivore challenge. All right, great training session. Time to fuel up. It's finally time. Had this bad boy in I think they call it a dry brine, where you basically just salt it and leave it in the fridge uncovered, just to absorb all that salt, soak through the meat, dry out the outer layer so that it crisps up real nice. We'll put it in the pan, in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then we're gonna crisp it up real nice on the outside, make a delicious crust. Well, we did it. The Last Supper. 1 week of carnivore. It's been a good week. Time to dig in. This looks incredible.
This is the type of meal that the Flintstones would eat. A massive piece of meat with a bone in the center. Nothing screams carnivore quite like this. I'm completely involved. Every bite has me reflecting on the past week. All the species that I've consumed, the pounds and pounds of meat that I've packed away. Was it worth it? Have I unlocked a new level of health and fitness? Is this the way I'm gonna live the rest of my life? Honestly, this steak was incredible. Every bite just pure bliss. Dang, what I'd kill for an apple right now. On day 7, I ate 295 grams of protein, 188 grams of fat, and 11 grams of carbs for a total of 2,902 calories. I ate chicken, cow, kangaroo, and pig, and I gained 0.4 pounds.
Well, 7 days of carnivore done. This is how I'm gonna end the challenge. Coffee with some fresh honey, 2 things I've been craving, and a watermelon. Carnivore was great. I'm glad I did this. My favorite meat of the challenge was definitely beef. There's a reason that we eat that so commonly and steaks are so highly prized. But I did really like alpaca. Alpaca was interesting because it was a very sweet flavored meat. And something I haven't had before. Probably the underdog was the emu meat. The emu that I accidentally turned into emu jerky. That turned out to be surprisingly delicious. I'm not sure if it would have been the same if I just cooked it normally, but in jerky form, it was delicious. Just like Bob Ross, it's a little happy accident.
Throughout this challenge, I ate 15 total different species of animals. Alpaca, herring, sardine, flathead, whiting, pig, cow, lamb, chicken, crocodile, buffalo, emu, kangaroo, camel, and lobster. I averaged 2,097 calories and 240 grams of protein each day. My blood glucose stayed in the 5s almost the whole time, with my highest reading of 6.1 being the first morning before I'd even started the diet. I dipped into the 4s a couple times and felt a little low energy when that happened. I had entered into light ketosis by the end of the week, and I ended up losing a total of 5.2 pounds while eating as much as I felt like. There's only a slight difference in body composition, so I would say that the majority of the weight loss was due to the water loss experienced from cutting out carbs. The carnivore diet has a lot of benefits. The simplicity and appetite control make this incredible for weight loss and would definitely help anyone with self-control issues or food addiction issues. There's also plenty of examples of people with autoimmune conditions or allergies that find tremendous relief using this diet. And personally, I think that this diet has many great uses. However, I see the carnivore diet as more of a tool than a lifestyle. I think the carnivore diet can have some massive benefits during certain seasons of life. However, long term, it's not for me. I believe that a whole food, highly diverse diet that includes fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, meats, and dairy is optimal for me. To create a healthy and diverse gut microbiome, you have to eat a diverse diet. And restricting yourself to just one food will eventually lead to issues down the line because you'll be eliminating beneficial bacteria. Our early ancestors would never have chosen to eat just meat or just fruit. They would only have done so out of necessity. They would almost certainly eat a wide variety of seasonal foods that would surely change throughout the year. Because humans would have lived this way for so long, natural selection would have chosen for humans who thrive on many different kinds of diets and that can eat a wide variety of foods. That being said, there's tons of people, experts, doctors that swear by the carnivore diet and are currently thriving on it. I say the diet's worth a shot, so try it out. Or don't. Thanks for watching.